Today, we turn the page to see the dawn of a new age, where dreams of young hearts shall see the light of the day.
Seas to hills we claim our chance to pave the way. Unify hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be. It's time to change the tide of fate and set our hearts on fire. And we will never stop until we break the chains that bind us down. Beneath that which we sow, let our actions flow for tomorrow. Unify hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be.
It's a climate crisis, times are changing, mountains sinking and the oceans rising. But if we participate to mitigate this tragic state of the human race, we inculcate into the young that once united we are strong, and the world we've all been longing for is just one step out the door.
Whispers of the past we hear,
Stories of old, loud and clear.
it's time to cast away our
Tomorrow's not
fears. It's finally here. Unify hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see, the change we shall be. Let's turn the page, change the tide, shape the soul, hearts sustain, we will seize the day. Let's turn the page, change the tide, shape the soul, hearts sustain, we will seize the day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Titilayo Adivayo, and I'm going to be your lovely host this afternoon, or morning, or evening, depending on where you're from. I'm so happy and excited to have you guys join us from all over the world. And I can see people from Mali, from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Uganda. Oh, it's so lovely to have you guys here. Please feel free to type your name in the chat and put whatever you want to put where you're from so that we can know where you're listening to us from this afternoon. Like I said earlier, my name is Titilayo Adebayo, and I'm going to be your host for today. So, to join me in this session first, I would like to say a big welcome to you all. And to hear more, I would like to invite our global operations team in the name of Susmita Mishra. She's going to be welcoming you all to join this afternoon. It's the first town hall meeting ever for Unify, and we have a lot of people from everywhere. The essence for this meeting is so that we can give you updates on what we've done so far since your last onboarding, and we like to keep you in loop and what to expect, what we'll be doing in the US Water Conference and beyond. Unify is not about us, it's about everyone. We leave no one behind because we are so passionate about letting our actions flow for tomorrow. Like I said again, welcome. I'd like to welcome everyone to this first ever town hall meeting of Unify. Good to see you all. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. So, with no further ado, join me as I welcome Susmita Mishra for the welcoming speech.
Thank you so much, Titi. It's so good to be here with you again, sharing the same space. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're watching, hearing for, us, wherever you're in the world. And firstly, I would like to thank you all for joining Unify, being a part of this family, and being here with us in this journey for a couple of months already. We are so pleased to have you and welcome to the very first town hall meeting. So, today we're gonna discuss what we've been doing so far, where we are right now in terms of our work, and also to discuss how we are approaching to the UN 2023 Water Conference, as this is a very historic moment for all of us. So, I would like to welcome you all again. Thank you for joining, and stay tuned to know more about what we've been doing, what we will do at the UN 2023 Water Conference. If you're going to be there in New York, March 22nd to 24th, or even from March 18th, also attending the New York Water Week, please feel free to join us. We have couple of sessions, side events, special events during the water conference and also during the New York Water Week. So feel free to join us, or even if you're back in your country, you can join us virtually. We even have a few sessions that we will be broadcasting online, so you can join from your space. So I wouldn't like to take much time, so with this I would hand it back to Titilayo, and thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Back to
Susmita,
you,
for that
Titi.
warm welcome. Thank you so much, Susmita. Everyone, thank you so much again, once again, for joining. I can see people joining all the way from Canada, from US, from Sudan, from India. It's so good to have you all here, and you should know that you are part of this great big family. It's so good to have you all here. Thank you so much. With no further much ado, I'd like to go into the next session of the where we explain to you. Today we have the topic of the discussions. We have the introduction, we have and then we have the welcome speech, and then next we have the slide to show you what we've been up to and what we'll do after the UN Unify update, the Unify engagement at and after the UN Water Conference 2023. And then we have the Q&A where you can ask any questions, and we will try as much as possible to answer them within the Unify scope. All right, next slide, please. All right. So, like you all know, during your onboarding sessions, I believe every one of you joined the onboarding sessions for members at the beginning of this year and late last year as well. And as you all know, Unify has two. We have the Unify under the umbrella of the movement, and we have the Unify under the umbrella of the festival. So the movement you all have been, spoken to. You were onboarded when you were onboarded. We shed more light on this and the festival. Feel free to request maybe the recording if you don't have, or join the next onboarding session to have more details on what the movement is. And we also always like to have had a disclaimer that Unify is not an organization. I want to repeat that. Unify is not an organization. Unify is a platform. It is a platform for different organizations to come together, because we believe that divided we fall, but united we stand. And if we learn from the mistakes of our past leaders, we will know that we all have some things in common. We have life in common. We have the planet in common. We have the environment in common. We have water in common. So the youth are gathering together to to seize to make use of the fact that diversity shouldn't be a problem, but it should be a solution. So next slide, please. All right. So since the onboarding, we've had an increase in the number of global members from all over 162 countries. We have over 6,500 members, registered members, or from different countries, 162 so far since we started this unified journey. And I'm so glad you are one of the registered members we have. And I'm so happy to have you on board this afternoon once again. Can we go to the next slide, please? All right. And with that, I would also like to remind you that we have regional representations from 14 regional focal places, and we call them the regional focal point, which I am one of them. The regional focal point for sub-Sahara Africa, and we have 14 of them from 7 regions. We have 2 so that we can balance out whatever we are doing. Just like you focal point, you have 2 focal point per countries to so that you can balance out whatever decisions you are making as a team. The beauty of Unify is that we don't just learn, we also unlearn. So there is room for improvement. There is room for growth, you understand? And so that is why we have 2 focal points for each region. Also, we have national representation of 80 national focal point. I think you guys, we've onboarded 80 NFPs since our last onboarding sessions, and from 40 countries, 2 NFPs per country. And you might ask, oh, maybe your country does not yet have an NFP. You might be wondering, how do we get an NFP? So for you to be eligible, each country must at least have 25 members to be eligible for NFPs. And then once you have 25 members, we send out nomination forms. You can nominate yourself or someone else for the post. And then we conduct an election where the members of that country decide who their NFP is. We do not take the right for you to pick your NFP from you, because we believe that we are a family. And if we are a family, we fail as one and we succeed as one. So you, the members of that country, decide who your NFP is. And that is how it works. For regional members distribution, as you can see from the slide, we have, I don't know if this is clear enough. Is there a way you can, Prakash, is there a way you can increase so that people can see the numbers of the distribution? But if you cannot see, the larger numbers we have from sub-Sahara Africa, and I think the list we have is from the Latin and Oceania, the Caribbean. And so if you are here this afternoon, you're hearing from, I think the Oceania has the lowest number of members so far. So if you are here and you're from the Oceania region, you should make this your first task to ensure that your people are involved in Unify as much as possible. Trust me, Unify is that family you want to belong to, because we bring you recent updates, we bring you recent information, we show you how to network, we show you, help you network with other organizations, different stakeholders working together just to make sure that whatever dream we have, we can succeed at it together. Can we have the next slide? And that takes us to the communication channels. For now, we have these four major communication channels. We have the WhatsApp, the Planner, the Outlook, and Teams. I trust and I believe that Slack will also be added to it soon. But for right now, these are the communication channels we have. And we have communication channels for members. I have a lot of NFPs have set up WhatsApp communication channels for their members. And we also have communication channels for NFPs, for regional NFPs, for global NFPs. Sorry, for global FPs, we have different communication channels, and we have our emails, we have our Teams meeting, we have our planner for tax monitoring and tax engagement. We'll send you updates soon regarding the WhatsApp community where all members can join, and you can, ask any question you want to ask. You can reach out to anyone you want to reach out to. The beauty of Unify is if I see someone who I want to learn from, I can get their WhatsApp contact or their email and send them a direct message and learn from them. It's not about one person, because we believe that the beauty of diversity is that we all have something to bring to the table. I do not believe that there is anyone who doesn't have anything to bring to the table. You all have. I have something I can learn from you. You have something you can learn from me, my culture, my way of things. We are different. So we work together, we learn together, we unlearn and we grow. That is the beauty of Unify as a family. And I'm excited to have you all here. Can I have the next slide, please? Can I have the next slide? All right, thank you. So this next slide is all about the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda. And I cannot do justice to it because, like I said, we all have our strength and we all have our weakness. And YDPA is not my strength. I can do the talking. I can do like the talking, but the hosting. But when it comes to YDPA, we believe everyone has their strength. And that is the uniqueness of Unify. We know your strength, we bring you to it. We have different teams to which you can belong. So you know your strength, you go there. You want to learn a skill, you go to the next any team you are interested in. So to do justice to this YDPA, this afternoon we'll have Maria Mercedes telling us so much about YDPA, what it's all about, what we can do about it, where we come in as a member, what we can do, how it affects us, and so much more. So you don't want to go anywhere. You want to wait and listen. This is the most important part for members and for me as a person, because here we come up with solutions that are region specific. So I'll give the floor over to Maria Mercedes.
Thank you, Titi. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Yeah, my name is Maria, and I'm the regional focal point for Latin America and the Caribbean, and I'm also part of the policy team. So, yeah, as Titi was introducing, I'll be telling you more about the YDPA, the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda, and how this plays a core aspect to what we have been doing at Unify, and this will also define what comes after the water conference. So it's one of the main milestones at Unify, and it's great to be sharing about this with you all. So if we can have the slides larger, yeah, there it goes. So here you see the main components of the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda. And I hope you've been following us on social media and learning about this, but here I'd like to give an overview about these components, right? So the whole process for the YDPA started with a survey that's I hope that you also were able to respond. So in this survey, what we tried to capture were the main gaps and challenges in water and climate according to the young people's perceptions in their own countries. So basically, the idea here was to actually bring the voices of the youth to the water conference, and in order to do this we needed to create this survey as a platform.
So the survey had a list of problem statements, as for example, poor water quality is a problem in my country. Um, the idea is that then the respondents would reply whether this is they strongly agree with this or they strongly disagree with this, and then we would know whether in their own countries they feel like this is a problem or not. So this was the first step when crafting the YDPA. We capture all these perceptions, and then we moved into the second part of the YDPA, these aspects here in green, which are the solutions. Because what we've been seeing and hearing about when it comes to youth demands is that there's always these statements and requests for other stakeholders to do things, but it's really hard to bring these things into concrete action then. So that's why one of the key things that we wanted to bring in the YDPA were sets of already prepared solutions for stakeholders to adopt. I mean, these solutions were prepared in the form of policies, projects, programs, and activities. And we conducted a series of validation workshops in order to get this list. We did this at the Dushanbe Water Conference in Tajikistan. We did this at COP27, and we did this remotely as well all throughout last year. And we came up with this huge list of proposed solutions that can be then transformed into commitments as part of the water action agenda. So the water conference that is coming in 3 weeks, it's coming very soon. The main outcome of these historic events will be the water action agenda, where different parties, that will be countries, but also international organizations, NGOs, other kind of private stakeholders as well, can commit to the water action agenda. So what we wanted to have in order to be ready for this moment of commitments is to have these solutions prepared, solutions that are coming from the youth and that are for the youth, right? So this is the main component of the YDPA, and we are now in the process of doing this advocacy, doing this working, just reaching out to every potential stakeholder that would like to commit, and we present them. We present this guideline for how to make these commitments in line with the youth, and we've been also preparing what's coming after they commit. So this is the last aspect of the YDPA, the monitoring and evaluation part, where we decide also something that is very important for us when it comes to accountability, so that we not only hear about these commitments, but we also know and are prepared to track these commitments as well. And we hope that the whole unified community will be involved when it comes to doing this monitoring and evaluation. Because, yeah, I mean, the water conference is just 3 days. And yeah, what we want to see is action really coming to the ground, and that will happen after the conference. So we need to keep pushing and keep being active in terms of monitoring what happens after the conference. So in this next slide, you can see some of the main aspects of the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda. So as I was saying, this gathers the main youth inputs towards the water conference that is coming in 3 weeks. We also used a set of reports and policy documents in order to get a sort of basis for all of this content. We gathered the youth perception through the survey. We then just conducted these validation workshops, as I was saying, so that we could update the survey, get the youth perception in terms of whether the survey was accurate enough. We came up, as I was saying, with the promise of solutions. The solutions are in the form of actionable goals, and we present a plan of action. So what's happening after the commitments are there. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this would be the last slide, or if we have another one. Yeah, the roadmap. Great. So this is a little bit of what's been happening and where we are going towards with the YDPA process. So yes, as I was saying, beginning last year, we started working on the basis. Then in July, we launched the survey. We did these validations throughout October to December, and then we started crafting the main documents. And I'm really glad to tell you that it's coming to life. As you can see here in this image, this is how the YDPA would look like. This is our cover for the YDPA, and the final document will be presented and included as part of the UN 2023 Water Conference. So yeah, this is what I wanted to tell about the YDPA. I'm not sure if Titilayo or Susmita are they going to take from here. Otherwise, I can just tell you a little bit more of what was happening. All right. So yeah, as you can see here, there's a little bit of a timeline on how things have been progressing. We started like the first time that Unify was introduced into, let's say, a public space was during the EarthX Global Youth Summit last year. Then we were also in Tajikistan, participating of the youth forum in the Dushanbe water process. Some of our colleagues had an intervention as well in last year's high-level political forum at the UN headquarters. We can go to next slide. That then comes the regional COI for APEC that took place in Leyte in the Philippines. This was led by Unify together with Yango. We also had the possibility to have an intervention at the One Young World event in Manchester in September last year. Our colleagues also participated of the UNGA 77. And then we also had some interventions in the World Water Week. I think there are a couple more then we also facilitated some aspects of the youth symposium that the WMO Hydro Hub was organizing in Geneva. And of course, as I was saying, we also took part in the COP27 in Egypt last year. And finally, some of our colleagues also participated of the African Youth Climate event. And yeah, that was our last intervention in the international context before going to New York. So yeah, I think this will be the last slide. And I would like to pass it to our host, Titi. Thank you so much. And yeah, I look forward to any questions that you have afterwards during the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. That was a very short and sharp session, and thank you. And like I said earlier, Maria is one of the experts that handles YDPA, and so feel free to bug her at any time. Don't tell her I told you so. Anyways, okay. I would also want to use this opportunity to inform everyone that if any of you have, maybe through their organization or government, wants to submit any commitment, you can write to Unify at info@unify.com. I think the technical group can please help me paste that in the whatever communication channels you have right now. You can send that to info@unify.org. If you have any commitment through your organization or government that you want to submit, please feel free to send us a message. And I think this takes us to the next session. And I think this will be ended by Susmita Mishra, if I am right. And this is, can I have the slide, please, Prakash?
Hello, Titi. I'm already here.
Oh, okay, thank
Back
you.
to see you again. And
welcome.
I'll be taking it over from here.
Yes, you are the expert
All
on this
right.
field.
Okay, yes. So to give our dear viewers updates on the engagements of Unify during the UN 2023 Water Conference starting from 22nd to 24th March. And also we may have a few engagements prior to the water conference that covers the New York Water Week. So I will just go on to the next slide to give you further information on our schedules, on the delegation, and everything. So, for the UN 2023 Water Conference, Unified Delegation is composed of 30 members. So nine of the delegation are from media and communications. As you can see, all the coverage that we have, even during COP27 or any other events that we've had so far in the past, media and communication plays a very important role. Then we have policy team that includes four of our delegation. You have also seen Maria is one of them. She's one of our policy experts. And then from membership and global outreach, who handle the membership, our global members, answering your queries through our emails of membership at unify.org, or your queries on info at unify.org, and also handling the membership flow. So four of them are from membership and global outreach. Three of us are from external affairs, who handle our coordination with different youth organizations and different stakeholders. And then from our 80 national focal points, 10 of our national focal points are going to be there in UN 2023 Water Conference. So our delegation is composed of 30 members, and let's see what are we up to in the next slide. So here we have altogether 5 unified sessions that we are either hosting, co-hosting, or we are part of it into organizing it. The first one is on 21st of March from 10 to 11:45, and to our viewers or to our Unify members who will not be there in New York, you can still join this. We will be sharing information about this through our emails. We will send you the details through emails, and if possible we will also share it through our social media. So the side event is Communicating Water, a Game Changer for Acceleration and Innovation. So it is going to be in a hybrid format, both virtual, and it will be hosted outside of the United Nations headquarters in New York. The organizers are Global Youth Development Institute and Unify. So the next one is on the same day, 21st of March, from 3 to 5 p.m. That is a side event in Youth in Water Action Agenda. So it is co-hosted, co-organized by Children and Youth International and Unify. And we will also, so this is an in-person event. So we will share with you, out of all of our events, if we are going to have live broadcasts, we will be sharing it with you through emails. We will share with you the details of through email addresses. So the next event is side event, Turning Research into Action, Children and Youth's Role in Policy Formulation for Water Resources Management and Disaster Risk Reduction. So this is happening on 24th of March between 8 to 9:15 a.m. At UN headquarters, side event room A. If you are going to be there in New York for the water conference, do join us. We will be sharing further details about this, both from our emails and through our social medias. So here we have our next side event is Youth Session, Local Action, Global Impact, creating intergenerational partnerships for sustainable water management. So that's also on 24th of March, 11 to 12:15. And it's happening at United Nations headquarters, side event room C. And it is organized by multiple organizations, co-organized by multiple organizations like Children and Youth International, Asian Development Bank, JICA, Global Water Partnership, Japan Water Forum, and other organizations from Japan. And Unify is also part of this event. And then we have during the UN Water Conference, there are going to be 4 special events. which are part of the UN Water Conference agenda or the schedules. So one of them is co-hosted by the major groups within the UN system, and so it is co-hosted by SDG 6. A major group on the women, and also Unify is part of it. So if you're going to be in New York, join us for the special event. It is the time for the event is 8 to 9:15 on 24th of March, and it is the venue for the event is a United Nations headquarter, conference room 2. For all of our sessions, we are going to share you the details through emails and also through our social media. So stay tuned, even if you cannot note down the dates and time and venue. We will be sharing this with you, so you can be there, join us through all of these sessions. So moving forward, let's see what we have on our agenda. So other Unify engagements at UN Water Conference will be lobbying for the YDPA. As Maria also mentioned, that of our journey when we started back in 2022 January, coming all the way with aid validation workshops, crafting the YDPA, going through finding the key problems from local to global level, where youths are facing, or where we are facing issues with water and climate related uh, agendas, and then coming up with solutions, and now moving forward into commitment building. So commitment building for the YDPA is one of our key agendas for the water conference. So next is media coverage. We will, even though our members who cannot be there for the water conference, we want to ensure that you get enough and to the optimum coverage from the water conference venue. What happens within the water conference, what are the discussions that goes on, and what are the commitments that the stakeholders are committing to. So we want to ensure that these informations are relayed to you. And the third one is engagement with interactive dialogue co-chairs, chairs and co-chairs. So we ensure that the commitments that we have come up with are taken seriously into action and into account by our stakeholders. So moving forward, here we have, I think, okay, so we're at the end of my slides, and I think Titilayo is going to join me for this session of question and answer. So feel free, our audience, to drop your questions into the chat so we can help you by answering any of your queries.
Thank you so much, guys, for making this a very, very smooth and easy ride for me. To all the attendees, thank you so much. I can see people joining from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And like I said earlier, the beauty of Unify is that they give you room to express yourself at the skill you own the most. And so with me this afternoon are two other panel who are here to answer any of your questions. They are experts in their own field. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it on in, and please. Oh, okay. I have a question from Facebook from someone called Ini, and it says at moderator. Oh, okay. So the question is directed to me. Titilayo,
Okay.
I like that you mentioned that individual countries decide who their NFP will be through elections. However, in Nigeria, we raised the NFP, Mr. Abdullahi Tom, announced as a winner to us, not resident in Nigeria, for which we raised queries to the Global Secretariat through Slack, platform for which a link for re-election was sent to us, and Mr. Lucky Undume and Ikani Israel were the highest votes. Further, a few days later, we were notified that the election of Mr. Abdullahi has been upheld. Why is the will of the general member subverted without due clarification? Thank you so much, Ini, and I'm glad that that question was actually directed to me. I personally attended to this message, and I spoke with Mr. Abdullahi, and I remember I spoke with, I think, Mr. Lucky himself. And at the time I was speaking to Mr. Abdullahi, it was funny. Mr. Abdullahi was in Nigeria. Not just was it in Nigeria, it was in, I think, in one of the northern states. I think it's either Gombe or either Gombe or I cannot remember the state to be specific, but I know I spoke with him. I called him on the election date to have a meeting, and he told me that he's currently voting, so he cannot talk to me. After that, we spoke during the NFP. We had a town hall meeting for NFPs from Sub-Sahara Africa, to which I and my other focal point, Brian, co-chaired, and we spoke about this. And it was brought to me that the allegations that Mr. Abdullah Tom lived and is resident in another country is actually false. So I don't know where you got that information from, but I have done my investigation. Abdullah is currently in Nigeria. He said he went out of the country for a study, but he is back in Nigeria. And like I said, he has the freedom to travel out for his studies and come back. One of the things that Unify encourages is that you continue to learn new skills, groom yourself, grow yourself. So if Abdullah went out of the country to study and is back in the country, I do not think he has forfeited any rules or any election guidelines. So that made it him responsible enough to be an NFP. And also, one of the guidelines for the NFPs is that one of the NFPs can be resident out of the country. So his nomination was quite genuine. Not only that, when he nominated himself, we sent out elections and members from Nigeria voted him in. We cannot say they wanted Abdullah Tom. So I cannot say because somebody said we take him out. Members of Nigerian voted for him and made him the NFP. So as such, that is what I'm saying. We don't have power. What you decide is key. You decide your NFPs. If you have a problem, bring it to us. We verify, investigate. And if all our investigation seems to lead to the fact that the information you have is false, we cannot remove him based on false information. If you want, don't worry. As we go on, Nigerians will have their WhatsApp group where you can talk to Abdullah Tom himself. I don't know Abdullah. I knew him through the election process. And you Nigerians voted for him. Who am I to say no? So with that, the Global Secretariat, alongside this focal point for SSA, decided that Abdullah is a good candidate, is a valid candidate, and he has the right to be an NFP if he was selected by his people. And I think at that, I have answered your question, and I hope that was actually good enough for you. But if you have any further question, don't worry, you can send me an email or a WhatsApp message and we can discuss this personally. I hope that is okay. All right, any other question? Oh, okay.
Titi, I see a concern here.
Okay.
So this is from Jello, and he says, I'm suggesting if there is no WhatsApp group chat for general membership, then the executive committee should create one and email us the link to join, please. So I would like to answer that. We will be creating WhatsApp community, and with the follow-up email after this call, after this town hall meeting, you will receive the link to join the WhatsApp community for all the members that we have globally. So,
right.
okay, let's go into checking if we have more questions.
Yeah, someone is
This will
asking
be
me like how many focal points. He says, how many focal points do we have for each country? And the other one says, he doesn't have who is the focal point for Gambia. Right now, for each countries, we have 2 focal points for each countries. And this is not just because we want to, it's because we can reach a balance to whatever decision. We don't want somebody running a personal agenda with Unify. So it's like a check and a balance. So in case Titi Layo likes to talk too much, Susmita can say, Titi, you're talking too much. That is where the balance comes in. And someone says, can I please get the focal? Okay, so you know what? Every question is about who your focal point is, your national focal point is the responsibility of each national focal point to create a WhatsApp group for their members where they can interact nationally. You understand? So yes, if you don't know your focal point, please let me know. by typing it here, and I can go back to my NFPs and maybe score them and charge them to pay me, like, say, maybe £100 an hour, because they have to create
Titi.
a WhatsApp group. All right, okay.
Okay, so yeah, the national focal points for Gambia, let's just answer that, are Omer and Dada.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can reach out to them, and even without that, um, your national focal points will get back to you via email. We've already given them the mailing list of each country, so they will reach out to you. They will contact you on how we can further take ahead the national focal points, or let's say the YDPA commitment buildings, and how you can further disseminate YDPA agendas into your country.
Okay, another question is, who is the FP for Uganda? We have two FP, but unfortunately, one of them tendered his resignation, which we've accepted, and we will be maybe conducting another election for them. But for now, I think every questions about NFP. If you are an NFP and you are here, oh God, let me catch you after this session. If you are an NFP, it is your responsibilities to create a WhatsApp group for your country members. Any NFP who is not doing that, oh, you are definitely going to pay me £100. I'm serious. Or whatever currency you're spending. So seriously, guys, I'm so glad that you're all excited to meet your NFPs, and I'm going to ensure that, especially, I'm going to ensure that all 11 NFPs send out WhatsApp group for each country. I'm sorry about the delay, but if they have already existing WhatsApp group and you've not joined, I will ask them to send maybe an email to all members, sending them the WhatsApp number. So don't worry about it. You will get your WhatsApp group for your nationality. And I'm so glad to meet you all. We cannot answer individually all the names of all FPs for each country, because you know we have only limited time to meet you guys, and we have other things to attend to, and I know you have other things to attend to as well. So feel free to send us any further questions on info@unify.org, and will be glad to respond to them as much as we can within the Unify scope. You see, I always put the within the Unify scope, because I don't want somebody to send me a message saying, Titi, I need £10,000. I would answer your questions within the Unify scope. So, guys, our question will answer every questions. I think that is a wrap for us, Susmita. What do you have to say to our
Yeah.
beautiful audience from all over the world?
I think we've been able to answer most of the questions,
Yeah.
and I see like the remaining questions are somewhat similar. It's just a matter of the countries on who are the national focal point for Canada, for Cameroon, for Gambia, for other countries. So yeah, so Rwanda, I see. So yeah, uh, if you want to know more about your national focal points, they will reach out to you through emails. We have already given your email addresses, the database. We've already shared it with the national focal point, and they will reach out to you. Even apart from that, our comms team is busy into disseminating the national focal points, the updates regarding the water conference through our social media. So we will ensure to publish all of our social media, all of our national focal points in our social media soon. We've already published half of them. We will be publishing rest of them as well. So I see here are a few more questions, Titi. What are the main Unifies programs for the year? So
Okay.
yeah, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah. So this is the first town hall meeting for Unify, as we started at the beginning, and we hope to have another one. But right now, you all know that we are actually like swamped with US water conference. A lot of us are exhausted. So we have different plans, and we will be distributing and maybe sending through email. The comms team will be sending through email the calendar plan for the year. Am I right, Susmita? Okay. So they're going to be
Yes.
sending out a calendar plan from the year, what we intend to do, what we will do, how we will do them. You will have everything sent out to you.
Mhm.
If you are a member, you want to make sure that your email address with us is correct. If you think you don't get emails from Unify, then send your email number, sorry, your email address to info@unify.org so that they can actually correct it. So we'll be sending out emails. And you want to follow us on all social medias. A lot of you don't follow us on social medias and you are missing out, because this is where you get the first time information of news, of everything you want to know about Unify and other organizations that Unify showcases as a platform. So you don't want to miss that.
Absolutely.
Follow us on all social media. We have on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on what? I'm sorry, we don't have on WhatsApp. On LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. You can follow us
Yeah.
and find out what we're doing. But you're gonna be having a calendar. And please, if you feel like you are having any problem, do not hesitate to send a message to info@unified.org, and we would be
Mhm.
we are excited to answer whatever questions you have.
Yeah. Titi, I would like to answer this question. We have a question here. How will the YDPA represent the voices of youth from all over the world at the UN 2023 Water Conference? I think we are already done beyond just forwarding our voices. It's time that we level up our games as youth, as youths coming from different part of the world. So now we are already into after, as Maria mentioned earlier, we've had like 8 validation workshops where we collected inputs from youths. We had our surveys collecting your perceptions on water and climate related issues at your local level, your national level, and at global level. We compiled those, we came up with problems, we came up with solutions, and now we are into the commitment building phase. So commitment building is more on how our stakeholders or us as young people can commit into contributing to the water action agenda, contributing to water and climate, into solving these issues. So yeah, so during the UN 2023 water conference, especially during the special event that we mentioned earlier, we will have a session on how can these commitments be adopted by, or how can our stakeholders commit to our commitment. And then we will go into later in the year or later in the following year, we will go into monitoring and evaluating if they are keeping up with these commitments or not. So that's how we ensure our voices, not just voices, our suggestions that were in the forms of problems, solutions, and commitments are being implemented by our stakeholders. So, yeah, let's see if we have any
We
further
have another
questions.
question from here. It's asking if members are allowed to. It says, do we have right as members on a national level to remove NFPs who are underperforming? Okay,
Oh
this is
my God.
this is a
Let's
tricky one.
this is a tricky one, but let's take it this way. I think we're going a bit forward. Obviously we do have different terms and conditions. If you've
Yeah,
read the terms and conditions and code
yeah,
of conduct while filling
yeah,
out your registration to be a
yeah,
member, while filling out the
yeah,
application process, it has
yeah,
all the informations required, all the
yeah,
eligibility criteria, all the
yeah,
termination criteria as mentioned in it. Am I right, Titi?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so everything is mentioned in
So,
the terms and
yeah,
conditions and code of conduct. So
yeah,
you can go through it to find furthermore how the system works. And
mm,
obviously, in terms of if you have any disagreements, or if you have any um, issue with your regional and focal points or national focal points, you can always write back to membership@unify.org, so we
yeah,
can check how valid are your issues and how we can go into solving it. Because we should be in a place, as this is a platform where all of us are together working together for greater good, so we should ensure that we can go into how we can find solution, and we should go hand in hand in this. So yeah, i
yeah. I
think i
think
think we've covered that.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions, but we cannot, unfortunately, you guys know we cannot answer it all. And please feel free to send
Yeah.
any questions to info@unify.org. We can answer it there. We can pick it up. If we don't know the answers, we can go to those who know the answers because we do not know all the answers. Trust me, we all are learning as we grow, and that is the beauty of Unify. You be who you are. You're encouraged to be better, and then we are a family. So it's good to hear all these questions. It shows me that you're following, you're interested in the growth of Unify. But take it a step further by sending us a message so that we can even have a record of whatever question you have or whatever grievances you have. And sure, if your NFP is underperforming, we would investigate. We would definitely investigate. And if your claims are right, then whatever disciplinary action the Secretariat wants to take, they will take involving the members of that nation. So you guys will always be carried along. You guys are going to be part of every step we take. So thank you so much, Susmita. It's been close to an hour and it looks like we just started
It
10
has
minutes
been.
ago. Thank you
It always
guys.
feels this way. So,
Yeah.
Titi, I'll just
Yeah.
give my final remarks before we end our town
Okay.
hall meeting today.
All
So,
right.
any of our members, if you are affiliated to any organization or if you are affiliated to any organization or your government or any international organization, and if you want to commit something through YDPA for youth and water
Yeah.
and climate, feel free to write to us at membership@unify.org or info@unify.org, so we can even maybe if required we can arrange a call and we can see how you can contribute to the commitments, and we can move forward with it. So we have more commitments to be submitted during the UN 2023 Water Conference. So with that, I would like to. I don't want it's not a goodbye, but see you again
See you
very
later. See
soon.
you again soon.
See you later, our
And
dear
if you will
members.
be
Thank
in the
you for joining
US,
us.
sorry, if you'll be in the US,
Yes,
please feel free to reach out to any of us. If you see anybody, if you know everybody, if you see me, please feel free to grab me. But be ready to pay for my
yes,
lunch. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much for being
yeah.
here. It's been fun all the way. Thank you, Susmita, for hosting with me. Thank you, Maria, for making this easy. Thank you to all the technical crew working behind the scenes. Thank you so much. And to all our members, we love you. You're part of a family. Please follow us on all social media platforms. We love to see you again. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.
See you again. Thank you so much. Bye.
Is to institutionalize the youth involvement in the water and climate sector for knowledge exchange, for networking, to upscale the innovation, technological interventions, and capacity building of young people.
So UNIFY stands for the United International Federation of Youth for Water and Climate. So basically, we are a platform that unites all young voices around water, and we are working really hard to bring all these voices to the UN 2023 Water Conference next year.
is the